Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss JD for another episode of our daily stock market insights. And it's a weekend, so hopefully I will be able to record a few videos for this evening so that I don't get to record very long videos at a time. Okay, so for this video, I'm going to talk about the Philippine market with the most trending stocks we had last Friday. Okay, so as you can see, the index had a solid, massive drop here with a 2.18% decline, although we had some foreign buying, so that's really interesting. What is my outlook here? Looks like this is going to be uh, a 50-50 opinion, knowing that there's foreign buying. Okay, so let's see. So as you can see here, we were in an uptrend since January, right? And each time the index drops at this area over here, you have a bounce. But last Friday's candlestick was a confirmation that we might shift the direction this time, and we will be on a downtrend. But with foreign buying that happens, so we have to identify which area will it probably bounce. So looking at it, I went on a weekly chart to have a much longer horizon when it comes to outlook. So at this point, I'd say we are going to check our May 20 line over here because there is still that trend happening in a weekly chart. So in this case, I might be putting in the support around the 7,206 level. So as you can see here, your MA20 line in a weekly chart is slightly different than in your daily chart. So if you go back to the daily chart, we might experience a few more 1 to 2 days of a decline before we experience that shift. Okay, but then again, this is not the ultimate and final line there because it could slightly overshoot down below or a little higher because it's an area. But at the moment, my forecast is in that 7,206 level. So let's take a look at the most trending stocks. Okay, you got MONDE over here. Oh, very good move. 1 billion on foreign buying, and you had a breakout of the downtrend. This was your downtrend previously. Okay, each time that level is hit, there's a rejection that's happening. But to last Friday's candlestick, you had a good volume. You broke out of that downtrend channel. So definitely, I see a big potential for this to continue. Although it's a 12% climb there, traders, intraday traders could be locking in some gains. So I'm thinking you might consider observing. Okay, observe it throughout the day. If it does a gap up, then we really have no control over that. It's unstoppable then. But if in case it fluctuates and you're on the conservative side, I'd have to say the next support, which was your resistance previously, right here, your next support will come down at around 1720. Okay, but if you're a long-term holder, anywhere from 1720 to 18.16 is fine. Okay, but at this point, the chart is saying that this stock is really bullish. You had your foreign buying right there. I don't know the news though. No news. Probably they know something that is about to happen in the near future or in the coming days. That's why big players have already entered. So that's it. 1720, anywhere between 1720 to 1816 for long-term holders, for position traders. Try to wait for that pullback. And the nearest resistance or support would be your previous resistance, which is 1720. Let's take a look at Globe. The rest of the stocks have declined. Stocks in the index, that is. Now, as you can see here, Globe also had a continuation of a decline. And this is what I was referring to. Always, when I see it at stock triggering a Bollinger Band in either side, I would always say this, there will be a continuation in that direction. And at this point, it did continue with 4.54% decline. At the moment, this is wherever it is sitting at the moment, that is a support. However, it was notice that a solid red candlestick. So the sentiment is so strong for a selling pressure to happen. Now, try to observe. Don't take any action, perhaps. If you're thinking that that's a cheap level because it has declined, I'd have to say wait for that green candlestick to come out before you green engulfing candlestick. An engulfing candlestick is something that is much bigger than the previous day's candlestick. So, for instance, this is your red candlestick, and a green engulfing comes out over there, which is much higher than this red. Then that's your cue. That's your hint that a reversal is about to happen. But at this point, we don't really have, we cannot say conclusively that that's already it, because it could still continue. But knowing that you had your support right here, I just cannot neglect that, because that could mean something too. So I'm plotting my support at the area where it is at right now. But then again, do not take action unless you see that green candlestick. ICT also gave you a chance at a discounted level at the MA20 line. So that is, this area is, of course, for long-term holders, for those people who have already entered, you're in a position here and just are considering to add more volume, because this stock is already at a very high level, and this is already a level for long-term investors, that those investors who don't really mind adding more regardless of the price, because they believe that in the long haul this is really going to go massively this will be much higher in the future. So we're talking about 10-15 years time horizon here. Now, so that is the area, and it is sitting at MA20. So that could be a possible area where they can add more. But for traders, I find this expensive already. BDO also managed to pull back. So for those long-term holders, wait for that confirmation somewhere at the MA20 line before you add more volume. Okay, so your trigger here is it has to bounce at the MA20. Otherwise, if it breaks that, then catch it at around 124. If it breaks your MA20. So those are our provisioning. But the sentiment overall is we might have another day or two touching this before it goes up again. ACEN went back to the 868 level. So, oops. We might have a continuation again going down, because if you're to look at your RSI, there's no sign yet that says it's going to be a bullish divergence. It's still going all the way down, while the stock is also pulling its price downwards. So where could it possibly go next? This is the next area I'm looking at, 793. So if you are haggling at a cheaper level, I think you can still wait a little longer and catch it at a much cheaper price. Now, your considerations here, as it reaches 793, wait for 2 to 3 days perhaps to create that support right there, and a green again engulfing candlestick would be a good hint or sign that it is already about to reverse, and pair it with your RSI, that in case price continues to, let's say, hit here. So notice this is much higher from that to this point, and the kind of view that we want to see is for your RSI to go up. because right now it's going down. Price was going down, RSI is going down. It just simply validates that indeed this is a downtrend. But if price goes down and your RSI is giving us a different direction, for instance, it's much higher now from the previous point, then that's bullish divergence. So that's what we are waiting for. And even better if we create a support right here, and then the candlestick is, let's say, green, and then pair it with the right volume, nice volume, that means it's backed by volume. So the chances of it sustaining its rally to the upside would be really high. BPI also dropped part of the index, so I'm not surprised. Although there is a support or an MA20 right here, but I see a more a resistance. Okay, I see a resistance at this level, so I think the message is clearer right here. So I can feel that there could still be a possibility that it could break that MA20 and drop right at the 96.20. And after that, then we check again. If you're monitoring this stock, drop a comment, let me know so that I can check this in the coming days. But at this point, this one over here, okay? Take note of that area. Let me also check my DITO. DITO, okay. So this is a nice bounce. Let me just measure that, because I think it probably must have respected a Fibonacci retracement. See? Look. Okay, so from the lowest point over here, I dragged my Fibonacci tool up to the highest point, and it bounced right at this area. Okay, it even reached the 5.68. It just respected the MA20, the Fibonacci levels. So I think there will be a continuation for this, but if you want to really chase it, and I hope if you want to chase it, you are a long-term investor, okay? Because if you're in a position trader, this is already an expensive side. But if you are an intraday trader, chances are you'll be navigating this chart in a much faster time frame. So I don't really mind if you enter for as long as you're profitable, but of course your profit margin is much smaller right there because it's intraday. But for long-term holders, especially those who have the same vision as I have, I see that the stock is really meant to go up. It has been badly bidden for the past how many months now, and then slowly it is reversing. So the payoff is going to be bigger if you're going to hold on to your position in a much longer time frame. So if you are willing to add more at this point, this is an area for long-term investors. Okay, so probably the 5.88 level could be a good conservative entry point. Right? So I think that's it for this episode. I can probably still study some more and find more interesting stocks that I can feature here. In my previous video, I talked about C, Merrimart, and PHA. You might want to check that out as well and find out if my outlook in that video happened according to how I envisioned it. If not, drop your comment and drop your thoughts, because I want to learn from you too. Okay, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a guru. I just do this as a hobby and because I am so passionate with the stock market. Thank you guys for continuously supporting Miss JD. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye for now.